how is the angle between I plus j plus k and the unit vector I related to pi. For this we have to do some imagination. Otherwise, if we show all the details in the drawing, then there will be quite some confusing. So, let us take some line as axis in that the unit vector is I, or you can even say it's I cap. Then please note it is I plus j. Plus j means you will have to show I and j in a continuous manner, that is taken in order. So, the next direction will be in this fashion. So, this is I plus j. And thereafter the third one is k. We all know the third unit vector will be at 90 degrees to both of them. It means that cannot be shown on the screen. So I plus j plus k will be at 90 degrees at both of them, means it is towards yourself or towards me. So this is that imaginary point which is lying in space. So starting from I, then j, then k, if you join all of them, I mean if you join I plus j plus k, then a point from here to this end is going to be the resultant. So in what way is this angle related to pi by 4 is the question. Now, because I magnitude is equal to 1, so also is the magnitude for j cap equal to 1. So both are equal to 1. It means that the angle between them is going to be 45 degrees. So this will be 45, and 45 is equal to pi by 4. Then another is k, which is in space and 90 degrees to both I and j. So from there, if you see what is the angle between I and this point, you will find that because these two are 90 degrees, so and they are all equal to unit vector, hence from here if you join the line to the tail of I, it is going to be well 45 degrees here, and then another 45 degrees up to k. So it is 45 plus another 45, the two angles. This is pi by 4, and from here, if you join these two, this is going to be another 45 or pi by 4. So it is pi by 4 plus another pi by 4 if you happen to join these two. So here you will get another 45. So now when we join the head of the resultant, which is the tail of the first vector, that is I, it is going to be 45 this side, another 45 this side. Or you can say that from Pythagoras theorem, it is going to be the square root of pi by 4, the whole square, plus another pi by 4, the whole square, which is equal to, by taking it out common, pi by 4 whole square when it is taken out will be equal to simply pi by 4. Then what we will have within the square root is just 1 plus 1, which is equal to square root of 2. So it is root 2 into pi by 4, that will be the result. So what you therefore find is that pi by 4 here and pi by 4 here, and at 90 degrees the 2 pi by 4. When you find out the straight line for that, you will find that it is a Pythagoras theorem, and for a Pythagoras theorem, the hypotenuse will be making an angle. So this becomes hypotenuse when you see the final point in space. So it will be making an angle of root 2 into pi by 4. So for this question of how is the angle related to pi by 4 between I plus j plus k and I, it is root 2 times pi by 4. So that root 2 times is the relationship with pi by 4. That is the answer to that. Okay. Looking into the next question, where it is given that a bar plus b bar is equal to C bar means that C bar is the resultant for A and B. And how to show the resultant by taking the parallelogram law? We know it very well. So, well, this is A bar, and of course, from there we will take B bar also into account. Then you can see here that the arrow shows that A bar and B bar is in order continuous. Then in that case we know that the resultant will be the line joining the tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector. So this will be the resultant. And if this resultant is taken as C bar, then this will be equal to A bar plus B bar. Okay, now to find out what about A bar minus B bar, whether it is less or anything else, when you compare it with C, that is what we will have to now check out. Remember, for that, already we have studied one information, that whatever be the diagonal that is equivalent to the resultant, and other than that, when you take the other diagonal of the parallelogram, then so this length you can see is opposite to B bar and also parallel to it. So this will be representing B bar, and next what we do is that this, if you show it reversely, then we will have minus B bar, which will be the vector. So we have got B bar minus A bar. You can also show it the other way, that this B bar, if you reverse the direction, then it will be minus B bar over here. All one and the same thing. Minus B bar when you reverse the direction, and equal in the opposite, so other side also will be minus B bar. Should be in reverse direction. Here what you can see is that A bar and minus B bar are not in order. Some people will try to find the resultant by taking these two vectors where they are not in order. Both are approaching the point. Then if you find the diagonal, will not be correct. So what we need to do is, right. So earlier, by taking the parallelogram law of forces, what we have studied was that when we have first completed the triangle law, there the two sides that we get representing the vector A bar and B bar. The resultant of these two, provided they are taken in order, that is, must be continuous, will be the line joining the tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector. So it is going to be A plus B, which is the resultant. So will be equal to C bar as per the question. Now, for the parallelogram, because the opposite side is equal and also parallel, therefore that length will also be representing A bar. So this is also A bar. Now, when you reverse the direction, then what happens is, reverse means it is negative always, so this is going to be minus A bar. So look into the parallelogram now by taking the reverse of the vector A bar. Whenever you try to find the resultant, I repeated that you have to take the vectors added in order. So for B bar and minus A bar, you can see that they are in order, continuous. For that, the resultant will be starting from the tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector, which is minus A bar. So that resultant will be given by, shall we call it as D bar? Now, what you can see is that because the A bar, if it is given by OA, and B bar, if it is given by AB, then OB, which is, well, of longer length, is telling us that minus A bar and B bar, when joined to get the resultant, will be of shorter length. Reason is that if we drop a perpendicular from the two ends, then what you can see is that B is on the other side, whereas here this end comes closer. On account of that, the resultant of B bar and minus A bar, which is D bar, is of shorter length. So, if D bar is of shorter length, it means that D bar is less than C bar. But D bar is equal to B bar minus A bar. So, B bar minus A bar is equal to D bar, which is less than C bar, means that B bar minus A bar will be less than C bar. That is what they are asking us. So, because we are getting it right, the other diagonal is smaller than the first diagonal. Hence, the other diagonal will be less than the first diagonal, which is C bar. And C bar is A bar plus B bar. D bar is B bar minus A bar. B bar minus A bar, which is D bar, is smaller than that of C bar. Hence, A bar minus B bar will be less than C bar. It means that C bar is greater than A bar minus B bar. Then, in the question after what we have seen just now, we have got the angle between the vectors A and B is theta. The resultant is at right angles to A bar. And its magnitude is B cos theta. Next question, we have got the angle between the vectors A and B to be equal to theta. The resultant is at right angles to A bar and its magnitude is B cos theta. We have to find the value of theta, but what you will have to note here is that the value of B cos theta is not for the vector A bar. So, the resultant is at an angle 90 degrees to A bar and is equivalent to B cos theta. So, B cos theta is the value given, the magnitude given for the resultant. So, keeping all this in mind, let us show it in the diagram. The angle between the vectors A and B is theta. So, if this is equal to A, I am only showing the magnitude. So, if A bar is a vector, then we know that it can also be represented by A cap, where A represents the magnitude and A cap will be the direction. So, I am showing only the magnitude therefore, and then like that, looking into the magnitude of B bar, let us say it is equal to B, the magnitude alone. And we have already studied that starting from the meeting point of the two vectors, when the two vectors are coming out of that point, then the resultant also can be shown through that point. But what do you know about the resultant? It is given that this resultant is making an angle of 90 degrees from A, or you can also say from the vector A bar. So, this becomes the resultant. So, I am showing only the magnitude, I repeat it. So, 90 degrees from A is the direction of the resultant. Now, it is also given that this resultant is equal to B cos theta. When we consider only the magnitude, then the equation for it is given by A square plus B square plus 2 into A into B is equal to the resultant square. And another one equation that we have is meant for finding the direction of the resultant mathematically. So we don't consider graph into account now. The direction of the resultant is, for that, tan of the angle for the resultant is given by B sin alpha divided by A plus B into cos alpha. Please note that A is independent. All this I have discussed in details before. So remember that when A is independent of sin or cos, then the angle of the resultant will be from A. And from A, the angle for the resultant is given in the question to be 90. So this will be equal to tan 90. Then the other thing is that tan 90, as we know from trigonometry, everybody knows this, you start studying all this from the 9th standard. So is sin 90 by cos 90. Sin 90 is equal to 1 and cos 90 will be equal to 0. So when we cross multiply, then what we will get is that B sin alpha into 0 is equal to A plus B cos alpha into 1 into 1, which is A plus B cos alpha itself. So we therefore get the result from here that A plus B cos alpha is equal to 0. So simplifying this further, we will get cos alpha. Therefore, cos alpha is equal to minus A by B. Check it up. A going the other side becomes minus A, then divide by B is what will be the resultant, and of course is what will be the result, and of course it will be minus A by B, which is equal to cos alpha. And then we will take the other equation, which is the equation for just the magnitudes alone, and is already given in equation 1. Putting the value of A plus B cos alpha is 0 or cos alpha is equal to minus A by B, what we get is A square plus B square plus 2 into A into B into cos alpha, which is equal to minus A by B. And on the other side, we have got R square, and as R is given equal to B cos theta, so R square will be equal to B square cos square. So from this equation what we get is A square plus B square, then minus B, and B in the numerator, other term will get cancelled. So you will get plus 2AB. The minus sign, when you put it at the start itself, then will be minus 2AB, and that is equal to B square cos square theta. So here we will get the next question. It is given that the angle between the vectors A and B is theta. The resultant is making right angle to A, and the magnitude is B cos theta, find theta. So here what you have to understand is, when you read it continuously, you will be then able to follow it better. The resultant is at right angles to A and its magnitude. So this magnitude B cos theta is given for the resultant. So make a note of it. Right. So keeping all this in mind, when we go for the equations, there are two equations that we will be getting when you try to solve the problem mathematically. One equation is with regards to the magnitude, which is given by a square plus b square. Please note, I am writing down only the magnitude. Question of, well, the vector symbol or the direction will not arise here. So I read it again, that a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta is equal to the resultant r square. The other one is that given in the question, the resultant is making an angle of 90 degrees with A. Right angles means it is of course 90 degrees. And for the resultant, when you try to use the mathematical equation, we know that the direction of the resultant, that is 90 degrees here, is given in this form. Tan 90 will be equal to b sin theta by a plus b cos theta. All this we have studied umpteen number of times before. So when you simplify the second equation, that is the equation for the direction, then after cross multiplying, what we will be getting is that b sin alpha multiplied by 0 will be equal to a plus b cos theta multiplied by sin 90, which is equal to 1. So we will therefore get b sin theta into 0 will be equal to a plus b cos theta, and further when we proceed we will get a plus b cos theta will be equal to 0, and so from there we get cos theta will be minus a going that side will become negative, then divided by b. So cos theta will be minus a by b. Meaning that from here a will be equal to minus b cos theta. So that's what we get. Now from this result, by putting it in the earlier equation, which is the equation for the magnitude, we get a square plus b square, this is the usual standard equation, plus 2ab cos theta is equal to the resultant square, and the resultant, please note that point, is b cos theta. So resultant square is b square cos square theta. And from the earlier result, that a is equal to minus b cos theta, so a square will be b square cos square theta plus b square is there as it is, and then 2 into a. A again is b cos theta, and apart from that another b cos theta is there, which is also noted down. Thereafter, what we will now get is that b square cos square theta and b square cos square theta will cancel out both sides. Besides that, what you can also see is that b is common on both sides of the equation, cancel it. The result will be cos square theta plus 1 minus 2 cos square theta is equal to cos square theta. Again, cancelling out cos square theta on both sides, taking this minus 2 cos square theta to the other side, we will get cos 2 cos square theta goes to the other side, becomes plus, will be equal to 1. So cos square theta will be equal to 1 by 2. When we take square root, then cos theta will be plus or minus 1 by root 2, because if you square plus 1 by root 2, you will get 1 by 2. If you take square of minus 1 by root 2, then also you will get 1 by 2. So taking square root of 1 by 2 means it can be positive or negative. We will have to now check up. For plus and minus, we will get two values for the angle theta, and which one is correct. To know that, one is cos theta is equal to plus 1 by root 2, which is for the angle theta equal to 45 degrees. And when it is minus, cos theta is equal to minus 1 by root 2. Negative sign means cosine of any angle should be minus. And minus value for the cosine should be in the second quadrant. So when you take the second quadrant, it is either 90 plus 45 or else 180 minus 45. 90 plus or 180 minus, both are in the second quadrant. So anyway you take it, you will but get the same answer. So we will therefore get another possibility is that cos theta will be 135 degrees. Now, already the resultant is making an angle of 90 degrees. So the second force should be on the other side of the resultant. So the angle between A and B should be more than 90 degrees. So 135 degrees is therefore the correct answer for this question. Angle theta, which is the angle between the two vectors A and B, will be A bar and B bar. Okay. then will be 135.